Um,
This one's wife. They've dumped her. Hello, I'm H.G. Tudor. Cast your mind back, if you will, to just over a year ago. Yes, do you remember that heady period of time when this one's wife had created American Riviera Orchard, the brand that didn't go anywhere? You do. Do you also remember when she decided that she would send out jars of raspberry jam? And she sent the jam out on lemons with wilting foliage in a bowl. You do, for we all laughed at this ridiculousness, didn't we? There was also much laughter to be had, as many of the supposed 50 people that were sent the jam never owned up to it. Those that did included Mindy Kaling, Delphina Blaquier, Nacho Figueres. It also included Kelly Zaffin, Tracy Robbins, Abigail Spencer, Chrissy Teigen and John Legend, Kris Jenner, Garcelle Beauvais, and Heather Durack. Purportedly, Oprah Winfrey, Ellen DeGeneres, and Serena Williams received the jam also, but they didn't admit to it. Presumably, they saw it as far too tacky and threw it in the bin. But of those individuals that did receive the jam, it would be fair to say that many of those names were recognisable. Certainly Mindy Kaling, Kris Jenner, Chrissy Teigen, and others were notable as people that were known in the This One's Wife universe, if you will. But that was then, and this is now. American Riviera Orchard went nowhere, and instead became as ever. This One's Wife recently had another drop of her shitty products. And for the last week, she has incessantly pumped out on the As Ever Instagram reels showing people who have purportedly purchased the product, showing them glazing things with honey, smearing apricot spread, and those bloody flour sprinkles scattered left, right, and centre, which presumably would just cause you to choke and gag if you actually ate anything. What's interesting is that for all of the Instagram posts that we've seen, we don't actually see anybody eating the things that have been made. They just show them. There's nobody tucking in. There's nobody going, this is delicious, even if it is through gritted teeth. No. We never actually see the consumption. It's just the display, which tells us a lot about these products. Some have questioned whether people are actually received them, and in actual fact that it's this one's wife or her flunkies that are posting these things. Whichever way it might be, what is very clear from all of this is that she has been dumped. If you look, and some of you may have done so, at the posts, they have come from individuals whose names you would go, no idea who that is. And if you were minded, as I know some people have done, to look further at who these people are by clicking on their profiles, you will see that the number of followers that they have is either in the hundreds or the low thousands, meaning they are neither famous individuals in their own right or what might be described as influencers with substantial followings. The fact is that this one's wife finds herself in a position that the only individuals that are heralding her products are, for want of a better description, low-key influencers. There isn't one famous person amongst them. No Kris Jenner, no Kardashians, no Oprah, no Ellen DeGeneres, no Serena Williams. Nacho Figueres is missing. None of them have posted anything which then this one's wife has regurgitated. We all know that if that were the case, that somebody notable and famous, for instance, if Gwyneth, although she would rather die than utilise anything from As Ever, if Gwyneth, for instance, had posted the use of the flower sprinkles, you just know that this one's wife would have been displaying it left, right, and centre through her Instagram. But it hasn't happened. You know that if Oprah espoused the virtues of the apricot spread, we wouldn't be hearing the last of it. But she hasn't. Because even if she's received it, sent by this one's wife, she hasn't been moved to publicise it. Because she recognises for what it is, a load of shite, and she doesn't want to be tainted by the acquaintance and association with this one's wife. All week, this one's wife has been pumping out these reels, showing at least 4 or 5 different videos or pictures that she has either gone and collected herself or had sent to her or have been linked to As Ever, demonstrating her products. Out of all of those reels, she hasn't been able to muster one A-lister. Out of all of those reels, she hasn't been able to muster any famous individuals, nobody noteworthy. On one, Town and Country magazine displayed the fact that they had received 3 bottles of wine. They won't have ordered it. This one's wife sent it to them. And that's what she has been reduced to. Because, once again, I doubt that anybody actually managed to purchase anything. In actual fact, she'll have just claimed that it was sold out, or bought it all herself for the purposes of sending it to a variety of different people, in the expectation that those people would then report on it. She has been sending it to supposed influencers, to magazines. And what has happened is that if she has sent it to A-listers, they've ignored it. They've certainly not been buying it. Furthermore, those of her genuine supporters, the Sugars, I doubt that any of them have actually been able to lay their hands on any of the products, which is entertaining given the fact that they are the ones that would actually be moved to buy it, but I suspect they haven't even been able to do so because this one's wife has organised for the product to go to people to publicise it, that she has selected magazine editors, certain influencers, rather than allowing her supporters to purchase it. Once again, this one's wife gets it wrong. But what is clearest of all from this, through the incessant delivery of video and post and video and post showing those that have linked to As Ever, is there is not one single notable famous person. Not one. And what that demonstrates very clearly indeed is that this one's wife has been dumped. They don't want anything to do with her. They're not interested in her product. You know, given the brass neck of this one's wife, she will have attempted to involve them. She sent out grift boxes last time, but here she's attempted to send out probably the wine, maybe the apricot spread, maybe some of the honey to famous people to get them to talk about it, and not one has appeared. Not one has made it into the carousel of posts and videos that this one's wife has been pumping out in the course of this week. This shows clearly that she has been dumped by this group. And I know that many of you want this one's wife to receive her comeuppance, that's why you remain invested in her. And what you can take from this is that she has received some comeuppance here, for there is nobody interested in her product who is famous, nobody publicising it. And that is demonstrative of the fact that this group has turned its back on her, including hitherto supporters of Delfina Blackier and Nacho Figueres. Apparently, Nacho was upset about the ridicule that Polo received. Not looking good for the Sussexes, not looking good for this one's wife. And this failure with regard to anybody famous promoting her product demonstrates very clearly she has been dumped. I'm H.G. Tudor. Thank you for listening.